you're catching this on the replay, thanks for that. But we're going to wait a couple minutes, let people get in here before we get into the Charlie Kirk situation. So just hang out with us for a few minutes and let's get
we ran a
some people in here.
Unlimited in half, and it was so popular, we're doing it.
We'd definitely like to hear your comments about what you thought about the guy. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, we don't mind comments and thoughts. Let's be respectful to his family, though. I mean, that's one big thing I'm going to ask, is just respectful for, his family. That's kind of the key. So, but to get started, if you didn't know, Charlie Kirk, who's kind of like an internet sensation. He's definitely a conservative. He's, I don't know him super well, to be honest. I don't watch a lot of his stuff. But as someone who taught on college campuses for 25 years, I always can appreciate the style of things that he did coming to college campus. I get that. And, but it's a bad day. We'll give some time here. Let all of you guys get in here before I get on a rampage. So, or we let others get on a rampage. So you have the right to say anything you want to say, as long as it's polite-ish. You know what I mean? So I don't know what your opinions are, what your thoughts are. We want to hear them today. Did you know who this guy is? Did you follow him on social media? I've seen him a bunch on social media. I got to admit, I'm not an expert in his world. But I'm an expert, I think, in free speech. And one of the things, I like about people like him is they stand up for your rights and my rights and everybody else's rights. And I think that is crucial in today's world. Huh. We got neighbors getting their trash cans put away or something. I don't know what's going on over there. It's a warm day here. It's in 88 degrees. Looks like we're going to get rain. Just give you an update on that. Looks like we're going to get some rain, but I'm sitting outside. Hopefully it'll be nice tonight. But as people get in here, we're talking about Charlie Kirk and his assassination. Guys, tell me what you think, what you've heard. We're still learning. I'm watching the news, trying to catch up on it. I've seen where some news has said, they've captured the guy in the blue shirt and the white shorts. Then I just saw a news thing a few minutes ago where they talked about the fact that the shooter is still at large. So I don't know if the guy in the blue shirt's a decoy or if he's just some random guy or what's going on with that. But apparently, I'm sorry I won't be able to pronounce your name there, but thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. It says hi. We appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think about the Charlie Kirk situation. What's going on in America. It's a kind of a rough day in America at a couple fronts. So, but if you don't know, Charlie Kirk, an internet sensation, was assassinated today, literally a few hours ago, a couple hours ago, on over in Utah on a college campus. Hey, Mike. MJ, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. So apparently he was shot and killed him. He was shot. The bullet did kill him. It took a while for them. I guess they were trying to save his life. So the real questions I have is, what do you think about that? What do you know about Charlie Kirk? Were you a fan of Charlie? Did you like Charlie? Ruby, really, yes. Charlie Kirk has been assassinated in Utah on a small college campus. No, not too small. They got 40,000 students and a police force of 60. So I saw that on the news. So, I'm a big super fan and advocate of the First Amendment, and people have rights to say what they want to say. So, don't watch it. Yeah, the guy didn't have a chance, did he? Yeah, I still haven't seen the actual shot video, but from what everybody says, it just ripped through his neck, right? So, but let's remember, his family. I guess he has 2 young kids. He's only like 31 years of age, and a young wife, been married just a few years. So He was shot in the neck. That's right. That's what they're saying, that he was shot in the neck. So they're saying roughly 200 yards the shot was. Now, I don't know how if that's true, what that's going to come out to be. But, I mean, isn't that just the thought of that? You know, you got to go back to when President Trump was shot, right? You know, half a centimeter saved his life. Charlie Kirk lost his life due to half a centimeter. You know, it's a really rough thing. So they didn't capture the actual shooter. His identity is not released yet. They did. Okay, all right. Belmont, because I saw that on TV, the guy with the blue shirt, and he was saying invoking his right. But then I saw the news literally a few minutes ago saying the shooter is still at large. So it's kind of like, come on, people. Young Miss Bai is in the house. Good morning. How are things in the Philippines, the young lady? The subject has been evidently apprehended. Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying, yes, he is apprehended on scene. But then there's also news reports out there saying, no, they didn't capture him. And in today's world of fake news, it's really hard to believe or to know what the truth is. You know, you can't turn on the news station anymore and go, oh, that's what the news is. So, got a whole bunch of people in the background. You guys, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. We appreciate all of you guys. Subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. It's sad that people that disagree to go such extremes. I agree. Look, I'm really bad about that. I believe in first reason. It's really sad he had 2 small children, just been married about 4 years, I guess. No, that wasn't him. Okay, all right. Okay, because I didn't, you know, that's what I mean. So much misinformation, right? And that's why I actually want to come on here to find out if we can figure out together collectively what in the hell is going on. So, it should have never come to this kind of violence. I agree. On top of Kirk today, there was a school shooting in Colorado and something going on in Georgia. Hey, MJ, I'm going to answer Rube's question. So I know you keep timing him out, which I appreciate, but I'm going to answer his question. So Rube is in the background trying to come out and ask if we're homophobic. Look, no, we're not. We don't care what you are in life. And if you are, that's okay. I think it's, you know, inappropriate to be homophobic or to hate anybody for anything. But if that's what you're into, that's okay. It just is. West Plains, I support Charlie and the way he went out there. Yeah, I really supported the fact that, you know, whether I agree with him or not, that he was a great orator. You know, from somebody who gave thousands of lectures in my lifetime, maybe to small groups, but, you know, lots of lectures. He was a very good speaker and very sharp, very quick-witted, and knew his stuff. Yeah, you can release him from timeout because if he thinks he's going to troll, we're going to make fun of him. But if he has legitimate questions, we're going to answer them because I'm not scared of trolls. So, Mike, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do with him. And if he wants to talk about homophobic and gay people and all that, we can address those issues. Worse, yeah, I haven't seen the video. I'm sure it will get out eventually. But I haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen it yet. Got you, Mike. West Plains, it is. All right. So, you guys know who Owen Hart is? Owen Hart, the wrestler who died like 10 or 15 years ago when he fell in the ring? Yes, I know him. Hugo, I saw it on the threads and it's just horrific. Okay. I'm sure I'll catch up and watch it. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm a little surprised, to be honest, and I'm going to say this. I know he had his own security detail, but I know there's also a lot of, you know, it's going to be a lot of backseat drivers, right? It's going to be a lot of people saying, in hindsight, He should have did this. He should have that. He should have been indoors. You know, he should have. He should have. He should have. So, but that's all hindsight. You know, what happened today is what happened today. You've seen both videos, so there's two videos out there. Maybe Rube left. He probably did left. You know, a lot of these guys that want to come out and try to troll you or start something, when you talk to them in an intelligent manner and answer questions and ask questions, they run away and hide. Because they're usually, got to remember, they're usually dysfunctional people that live in their mama basements. So, well, no, he wouldn't know. And that's going to mean there's going to be a whole lot of backseat driving. Security experts, and I went through active shooter training when I was teaching. So I've been through all of that crap. But there's going to be so many backseat drivers going, he should have did this. Well, you know, he knew his life was being threatened. You know, this, that. You know, it was a Mormon who did. There's going to be so much garbage coming out. And that's what I hate about the fake news or the misinformation news, whatever you want to call it. So true. So, I don't know. I like the guy. I don't know if I agreed with everything he talked about because I guess I'm conservative, but I'm not that conservative. I do think he was quite entertaining on social media. I know he had a gigantic following. I hope his family has been financially set up to where his wife and children are taken care of. I'm sure they are. I know this is going to get a lot of play the next couple of days. There's going to be a lot in his funeral. You know, will President Trump attend the funeral? So, Frances, no, hey, there you are. I haven't seen you long time. Wow, it has been a long time. How are you? Trump is going to get angry about it because him and him were buddies. Right, I agree. He's, you know, I guess he was good friends with J.D. Vance, right? Francesca says, doing good? Nice. Really good to see you, man. I'm, really glad you're in here. Jimmy is in the house. Thank you, Jimmy, for the thumbs up, everybody. I praise Charlie Kirk and pray for, you got to pray for his family, man. Charlie goes down as another. Charlie will come to the forefront to exercise the freedom, and I agree. Fona is, I'm trying to read it. It's hard to read. So let me see if I can see it better on my iPad. Lana, okay, sorry. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I got to try to read on my iPad to be easier. I liked him. Ben Shapiro, people that speak, have the intelligence and comfort of far-sighted people. Yeah, what I like is smart people. You know, I like it whether you believe them or not, but if they can have a conversation with you and they can debate you and talk about things and not get upset, not get bent out of shape, but smile and realize what you're doing is educating. And I hope he goes down as a First Amendment hero. I know he'll go, conservatives, love him, which is okay. But I think it's bigger than him just being a conservative. I think it's more important than his religious beliefs. I think it's bigger than all of that. I think that's all a component of it. I truly think it's bigger because he was somebody, whether you like him or not, was not afraid of taking you on, was not afraid of answering questions. He was not afraid of that. He was very, 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 very confident in his ability to debate. You're doing great. How are you? I'm doing great today, No, wrong date. It's not the 9/11 today, my friend. Is it? Today's not now. Yeah. No, it's September the 10th here. But thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah, it's September the 9th. We're doing great. We're talking about Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated today in public in the eye of about 4,000 people on a college campus in Utah. He was a great man. Shea people celebrated. I agree. People like Whoopi Goldberg will be on there tomorrow going, hey, see? Told ya. He deserved to die. People like Whoopi Goldberg, who I find is one of the the most disgusting, vile people in the world will get over there tomorrow on TV and say, yeah, damn right, teach his ass. I'm in the future. You are in the future. You are the future. Give you a thumbs up for your live stream. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing, everybody. P&P Glory saw about 5 of my friends saying it was karma. It's not karma. What is, I disagree with that. Whether you like the guy or not, being shot and killed in public is not karma. Did he ever murder anybody? Did he ever shoot and kill anybody? Karma is, Hitler, who drove so many Jews through the gas chambers to have to walk through a gas chamber himself and be incinerated. That's karma. So it's sad that there's going to be a lot of people out there that go, oh, he got what's coming to him. That's what he gets for opening his mouth and standing his ground and speaking about his beliefs, whether you agree with them or not. I admire the fact that, because I'm one of the, I'm not Charlie Kirk, but I am somebody who will say what I want to say, how I want to say it, and I will stand by it. And if you don't like what I say, you can kiss my big ugly butt. I don't care. So I like people who are willing to stand in public and say, I believe this, period. And you're not going to do anything about it. Yeah, Whoopi is crap. That's an act of pure evil. Instantly kill somebody just for speaking. And that's all he was doing, is speaking. Literally. Wasn't hurting anybody. Wasn't doing anything bad. Talking in public. No one, and I mean no one, should be killed for the opinions or beliefs. Absolutely, Belmont. Absolutely. Dennis in the house. Dennis, that's one thing that really shocked me, to be honest. Is Charlie was very, very intelligent for being so young. It usually takes people a long time to develop the gift of talking and debating. Debating is a very unique and hard skill. A lot of people can't do it. But as a young man, he's able to debate and talk intelligently way beyond his years. Way beyond his years. So I agree. Very intelligent man. Mike's agreeing with you, Belmont. P. Employer. All he was talking about was how there was a lot of trans shooters as of recent. Yeah, that was the question he was getting ready to answer, right? Now, won't this be a kicker in the head if the person who shot him turns out to be a trans person? And, and I'm going to go off on a tangent a tiny bit into a different ditch. Filipina Bai is saying hello to you, Dennis. I want to go off into another ditch with the trans situation. I think everybody has a right to do any damn thing they want to do as long as they're not hurting somebody else. But I do wonder if there should be stronger mental health guidelines put in place before you can become trans. I don't know. I think maybe there should be more psychological counseling, more time involved in it. You can't just wake up tomorrow and go, I want to be trans, and now here I am. You should have to earn your way in. Me so by heartbreaking to hear the news about Charlie. I watched it many times. Did you? All right, good, yeah. Wow, HD and Arm Candy and Mother Hubbard. There definitely shouldn't be that. I, Mike and Venus. Ilona, I found you on Instagram. Woohoo! I'm on Instagram. Woo-hoo. Holy shit. I'm also on YouTube and TikTok, I think. The funny thing is, all the men hit on us on TikTok because they think it's my wife. So that's what's kind of funny. Bai is here to try to steal subs. PMP, especially because the hormone treatment. Well, that's kind of what I mean. And I don't mean whether you want to be trans or not. I don't care. But what I think, exactly what I mean. And I know Dennis and other people know about putting bad things in our body, right? And it's not just about, I mean, look, if we are getting part of, well, boy, you're going to go out of a deep ditch. The fact that we are truly dumping so many hormones down into our environment that's being put in our chickens and our food, and we're eating it, pissing it out. It goes in the waste, goes back into the water cycle, contaminates the frogs, the vegetables, the fruits that we continue to eat. So we've got a vicious cycle of shit that shouldn't be in our body, which is affecting us. Direct hormone treatment or steroid treatment, all of that affects the human body. And I think we got to do a better job of understanding that. There's my good friend Gus from Georgia, Georgia. Hey Gus, did you guys have an incident at one of your bases in Georgia tonight? I saw something, but I didn't know if it was old or new. Young Miss Bice says, you keep up with Dennis. Funny, where is your friend? Henry, Papa. So Dennis, Bice wanting to know where Henry is from your perspective, but wouldn't we ask Bi where Henry is? Hey, Gus. Gus is a good guy over in Georgia. Hi, Bi. Everybody say hello to each other, by the way. Thumbs up. I feel sorry for the people who are feeling sad. You feel sorry for the people that are feeling sad for Charlie. Yeah, you got to feel, his wife, I'm sure, is devastated. And I know what you mean in that. I know maybe some people might read that comment and go, but I know what you mean. You grieve for his loved ones. When, like they talked about, how did his wife learn about this and his mom and dad? A police officer in their home community had to come and tell him Charlie was just shot and killed. Right. So I sub to you, chill. Thank you. So Belmont, yep. Uncle Gus also love the hat, by the way. Oh, thank you, PMP. Appreciate that. Belmont, I sub to you. You're chill. I try to be. I don't try to take anything too seriously. But everybody say hello to each other. You guys are a great group. You guys say hello. We got Sanders, my good friend out of Georgia. Charlie Sanders, or Tata Sanders, is out of Texas. I talked to him the other day. Steve-O, this is insane. How are you? Tell me what you think, Steve-O. There's no telling. There's always something going on here. Whoop, whoop. There you go. The adventures of the Philippine-American couple. Then the Baconators in the house, too. The professor, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. So, crazy day, you got to feel, what I'll say this. I'll say he was probably, whether you like the guy or not, he was probably one of the bravest people there is on the planet, because he went out in public and answered questions and faced people. This is what he did. You know how sorry for anybody who's offended, you know how big of balls that takes to do what he did? Huge. When you stand up for yourself and your beliefs, no matter what they are, you're truly a man or a woman that has big old testicles. I respect any man who can stay calm in debates. Yeah, I agree with that. Bai says, feel sorry for Charlie. Yes. And feel sorry for his family. I know he's only been married like 4 years, I guess, right? Young wife. Cannot believe he was assassinated today. I'm still in shock, I know. Hey, Miss Man, aka Mr. Staples, the professor. Ronald, how are things in the Philippines? Are you guys getting the news there? HTN is still hunting. Is Phil hunting? Oh, Phil hunting. Yeah, he might be. Phil hunting for a Filipina. BM, what's the worst in the school shooting that has happened today? What's worse is the school? Yeah, there's a school shooting. Where was the school shooting? I can't remember. Was it Colorado or Texas? I can't remember. Somebody help me out with that one. 2 tragedies in one day. Denver. Okay. All right. Which, school shootings, as somebody who went through active shooter training when I taught college, school shootings can be prevented. They should never happen. And it's a craziness, but you're right. And the sad thing is, I don't know, does anybody know the details? How many people were killed in Denver? Does anybody know? And I know we will get demonetized for talking real words here, like kill and die and all of that, and assassinated, but I don't mind. But Father, unreal. There was a school shooting today. There was. How many were killed in the school shooting? I don't even know Charlie. My family and cousins knew him existed. Me, I didn't know him, but he looks very nice and very happy. Yeah, he's a true believer. If you believe in Jesus Christ and God, he's one of the ones that's a true believer through and through. So in that retrospect, what I do, I believe that people that have devout faith are better off being dead than alive. Because living's hard, living's difficult, living's a challenge. It's not meant to be easy. So it's kind of like the good die young, I guess, so to speak. So from his perspective, if somebody that held his beliefs so openly and publicly, but so strongly, the only thing we can say, the only good thing we can say about this is one, he's in a better place, right? From his perspective, he's reached up here. Hannah Mae's in the house. Good to see you, Hannah. How are you? Yep, Charlie's got big ball. I agree. He's dog-logging debate, even preach, but he never agree with me. Or I agree. And some nut job today said, I don't like you, so I'm going to shoot you. I don't like what you say out of your mouth, so I'm going to shoot you. And I am an absolutely free speech guy. I'm a First Amendment guy. If you want to say something, I think you should have the right to do it. I don't think you have the right to incite violence with words or anything like that. But I think you got it right. And I admire people that do that. I tried really hard in my teaching career, and just as a man, when I would say something, I would do something. I told a friend the other day, we were just happened to talking about some of this stuff, not about Charlie, because we didn't know this. I had dinner with him last night, right? He's an old guy in his 80s. And he was talking about some family issues, and I told him, I said, look, I take everything with a grain of salt. I don't believe anything. I take everything with a grain of salt. The only thing I take for 100% absolute is what I say I'm going to do. Then that's serious. But just because you tell me you're going to come mow my yard, just because you tell me that you're going to do better and not be a drug addict, well, I hope you are, but I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. But if I tell you I'm going to be at your house at 4 o'clock to mow your yard, I'm going to be at your house at 4 o'clock to mow your yard. Now, if you don't like how I mow your yard, well, tough shit. So, Anime, I'm doing good. Just dropped by to listen. Well, thank you, Anime, for that. Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way, if you haven't done it. And subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to my channel. I need it. We need the subscribers. Father, it says 4 students are in critical conditions and the shooter is being included in that. Okay, so are we saying that there's no deaths in the school shooting? Which I know this is crazy for me to say. But if you have a school shooting and there's no deaths, it's a win-win, right? Sorry. It's a win-win when our young people's not murdered by some crazy-ass other kid. Sad, I didn't know him. Yeah, I didn't know him either. I watched him on social media, found him very entertaining. I found him, along with other people that speak their mind, very, what word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. But I look at them as orators that I would want to imitate, that I would want to be. When I was teaching college, when I started very young, I looked around to see orators, speakers, public speakers that I liked, how their mannerisms, their speech patterns, their knowledge, and I tried to emulate the things that I really liked. And so Charlie Kirk was one of those guys that, now he's way smarter than me and he's way faster with the tongue than I am, but he's also one of the people that I would look at and go, man, I wish I could speak like him, deliver messages like him, along with many others, but he's one of those. My word is my bond. That's right, Belmont. You got that right. Not yet, anyway. Okay. All right. I just hope that the sicko is just a knob job and not instrument of... Well, I know. I understand what you're saying, Jimmy. I hope look, I do think there's a lot of money backing groups to go against the current government just because they don't like the current government. I do think there's a lot of paid drama in the country. I hope this is not part of that. I would hope that even the people that hate, well, I don't know, I guess that maybe is hoping a lot. I'm saying, I would hope even the people that hate the current government wouldn't go to the extreme measures of killing people to make their point. But then again, I had another conversation. I'm going to tell you about a conversation I had with a lady at McDonald's the other day. I took my wife's car into the repair shop to have it oil changed, tires rotation. And I forgot where I was. I know I'm old, right? I'm sitting at McDonald's and my buddy calls me and goes, he wanted to borrow my truck, which I don't mind. I have to tell you another story about a truck, but I'm sitting there and he's like, so where you at? And I'm like, shit, I don't know where I'm at. Where the hell am I? I'm looking around kind of going, yeah, that's a damn good question. And so I told him the exit I thought it was, and this lady spoke up and said, no, you're at this exit. And I'm like, okay, so I told him that. But I got talking to this lady. She's probably 40 years old. She apparently had a 15-year-old son who was the greatest kid that she was raising in the whole entire world, which is great. And she told me she is so fearful for the world to come for her 15-year-old son. And I told her this, and this is what I want to say to you guys. I know there's a lot of people going, oh my God, this would never happen. But in today's world, the chaos, the anger, the hate, the racism, the sexism, all the other weird bullshit is a today thing. And I told her this, and listen to this. I told her simply, look, what we see, our lives today, is not what our children are going to experience. Our children are going to grow up adapting to their new future world. They're not going to realize that their world is different from our world, right? Because they're going to grow up and grow through it, and they're going to deal with it and handle it. But the same crap that's happening in my generation happened to my grandparents' generation, happened to their generation before them. There's always problems, assassinations, murder attempts, political uprisings being going on throughout history. And there's going to be some in the next 200 years. It's never, ever going to stop. It just changes a little bit, but it never stops. History repeats itself in one form or another. So I told her this, don't worry about the world that is for the future for your child. Just prepare him for the future by teaching him critical thinking skills and how to stand up and be a man. That's what I told her. All right, I'm sorry. Let me get caught up on the live. I've been running at the mouth. Love your comment. Very happy we're friends and connected. Yeah, so very happy to have you as friends too, man. I do a lot of live streams where I run off of the mouth, just as Professor and Dennis and everybody is. I run off of the mouth, speaking my word, but I like hearing from all of you guys. Are you a Hawks fan? Hawks, like Atlanta Hawks? Hawks? Who the hell are the Hawks? Is that basketball? The Georgia or Atlanta basketball? Yes, I am. New world. It's a new world, but it's the same world. I'm a 49ers fan, but we can still be friends. There you go. Thank you. Our parents and grandparents said the same thing. That's right, Mike. Melamont, you are welcome. Hawk, yeah, Hawk too. Oh my God, Evan. I think she's gone away now, right? She made a bunch of money, got in trouble, and went away. And man, all she did is say a couple of words, and she made a lot of money. I wish I could do that. Those who look to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. There you go. JFK, I agree with that. Evan, do you know what this is? What is? Do I know what is? Mr. Yep, Mike and David, yes, Evan, you can. Hawks in Seattle Hawks football. Oh, I was thinking of the Atlanta Hawks. See, I know we're getting off topic, but isn't the basketball team in Atlanta, Georgia called the Hawks? Make a slogan. We know what that is. Seattle Seahawks football team. All right, yippers. No, Evan, you can say that if you want. That's up to you, man. So, but today, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated, a young man, I hope. Well, here's what's going to be some of the oh, there's my hummingbird. I'm trying to get my hummingbirds to come back. It's almost the end of the season, but here's going to be the bitch, right? So here's the thing to look out for, right? Gun violence. The Democrats have a position here, and obviously Charlie Cook was way over here when it comes to the Democratic view, right? So gun violence. Now, are they, since a person, a conservative, was shot and killed today by a gun, will the Democrats come out and say, see, gun violence are bad? Or are they going to sit back and go, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? So when it suits them, are they going to trumpet their own horn? Or are they kind of going to just snicker like Whoopi Goldberg and go, see, you got what you deserve, Dems want to take the guns away. That's right. So are they going to, but what I mean, Mike, is how are they going to, and I'm just curious because I'm not Democrat and I'm not really I'm any damn thing I want to be. So did they already do that? So I'm wondering if they're coming out going, well, we're not going to really talk about gun violence because in this case, it served our mission, right? That's kind of what I mean. So if it's self-serving to me, why would I bitch about it? Wanted to have guns. We did both. Watch sports. You're a fan of David. What sports? Football, college, mainly. I like college sports. I don't like pro sports because I think they're a bunch of whiny crybabies. I think pro athletes have become nothing but spoiled, rich, crybabies. I'm an independent. I'm anything I want to be, Mike. You know what I mean? I vote for the ideology that I like. And of course, if they would give me money, I'd vote for them, whoever it is. Fun fact, Corrado tried to ban detachable magazines. Really? Oh. Independent. Are you from Washington State? Bellamont's asking Yolona. Maybe if she likes the Seahawks. If she likes the Seahawks, she could be. Dogs are going to go crazy. But, yeah, I do too. What Mike, and I understand that. Here's the most frustrating thing to me. Politics suck. It's drama. It's like a soap opera. It's like third grade, right? It's like 30 grades. But what really bugs me in today's society is we don't have unbiased news. So it's like today, if you want to go study this about Charlie Kirk, right? Well, you get the Democratic side of the news, you get the Republican side of the news, but where can you go and just get the damn news? Where can you go to just get the facts, not all the crap that comes with it? Yes, I am, but I am in Arizona. I'm rocking with the Seattle Seahawks. All the way from Seattle. She's in Arizona digging that. No, guns stay is one of the foundations. Oh, I agree with that, Jimmy. I have many guns. I'm for guns. I have none here. But you're not a citizen of the Philippines, so you can't have guns. Yeah, we need unbiased. Right, we need, because it's frustrating. You can't get the facts anymore. So here's what I do to get facts. I go to Sky News out of Australia. Sky News out of Australia talks about America. And you can get information from Australia about America, which is just pathetic that we can't get unbiased news in America. We just can't do it. It drives me people. What's Mike saying here? I have a domain name if anybody's interested in working for free to help. What do you mean, Mike? At least we both dislike the Cardinals. Oh my gosh. I like the Cardinals. I guess. I have Cardinals here at my house that fly around, and feed them my bird feeder. Is that what you mean? That type of Cardinal? No, I know what you mean. People want the truth.org. Sky News is probably the most unbiased you can get in America. Yeah, but it's Australian news. I mean, that's pathetic, right? PNP says I'm not a sports person. I am. I'm into sports. I'm into everything. I like to fish and do lots and lots of other things. I'm into anything that allows me to stir up trouble, because I'm really big on stirring up trouble. I think it's more fun to agitate people than it is to do anything. So that's my sport, I guess. But and I like to talk, obviously. I like to give lectures and ask questions. That's a sport to me. But so the real question is, where do we go from here? Is this just another news cycle? In 2 days, will we forget about it? I was talking to that friend of mine about where he was talking about that he went home. Let's say he has family in Alaska, and he lives here where I live, which is 2,000 miles away. And his family in Alaska said, "Hey, you need to come up here and buy a burial plot and be buried here." And he was asking me what did I thought, and he told me, he said, "Well, I got my own plot right here. Everything's paid for here." And I told him this. I said, not to offend you, and this goes for all of you. I don't mean this to offend you, but when you're dead, nobody's going to give a shit that you're dead. You're dead. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to come and visit you, but maybe every great once in a while. So I told him, I said, so where do you think it matters where you're buried? Nobody's coming to see you anyway. So will this be another one of those news cycles that goes away in 2 days? PNB says, I love fishing, music, gaming. Mike's into music here, game development, many things. Except for sports, pretty much. That's funny. David has the gift of gab. Professors in the house. I need to see. I don't know why I can't see that very well today, Ronald. There. I was Midas Touch Network on YouTube. I'm here to make YouTube great again. With your help, we're going to make YouTube great again. Forget TikTok and Instagram and all the other ones I don't know anything about. We're here to make YouTube great again. There's going to be another thing in the cycle. It is. Professor Watch. Really sad. Didn't know him, his family, knew, but they didn't tell me. Okay. At the professor. Mike is saying hello to you, my friend. Use your tablet. Yeah, I know, but it gets in the way. Mike is making a reference to the fact that I can't see the little bitty print on the phone. I think Mike is trying to allude to the fact that I'm old. Is that what you're trying to say, Mike? You're trying to say that I'm old? What's really bad is you can't make the font any bigger. That's what's really bad. You can't make the font any bigger on these chats. If you could, it'd probably make an unbiased news source. Yeah, I agree. You read much better there. I know. I do. But sometimes I feel like I'm being rude if I'm looking at something else when I'm supposed to be talking here. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's kind of why I do that. Sometimes I feel like I'm being rude or disrespectful to the folks listening to me if I'm not making eye contact. And maybe that goes from my teaching days. When I would teach class, my goal was to make eye contact with each and every one of my students, not sit down and read out of a book or write at a whiteboard. But I know what you mean. I can't see shit. Well, you do have a few years. I mean, I don't know, Mike, man. Professor's going to have to stand up for me, stick up for me. Come on, Professor, you can stick up for me. Alona says, you're not old, you look great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try. Actually, I don't. I'm just naturally handsome. Mike has to try. Mike, is a good buddy, so I get to pick on him. Oh, let me throw this out there real quick while I'm thinking of it. If you guys haven't subscribed to each other, please go and do that. Make friends with each other. Say hello to each other on my channel. Like, subscribe, and share to each other. Well, yeah, but wait, what? Dennis Bolin, indeed. Let's see. Might try something as AI. Have a few. Yeah, there you go, AI. Might work. See, now I'm trying to read now. Professor says, Dennis Bolin, indeed. Dennis is here. Where did Dennis go? There he is. Dennis. Miss Man is the legend. An Eagles super fan. Dennis, sorry I missed your comment, buddy. On the laptop, you can easily, well, yeah, but I'm not on a laptop, on a phone. Come on, man, I'm not on the laptop, I can see it. Mike is giving me a hard time, Tate. Everybody say hello to my good friend Sanders out of Texas. Our other good friend Sanders was out of Georgia earlier. So, how are you, my friend? What's going on with you in Texas? Everybody say hello, subscribe to his channel. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. He's been busy, man, taking care of the family. You're welcome, no problem. Well, I appreciate that, Lona. I really do. Hello, little Mike. Good to see you. Always working. Yeah, he's one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life. I mean, I'm not AI. You're not AI. Well, maybe we can make an AI. AI. Can we create a news source that's AI, that's unbiased? Maybe we can do that. I don't know. Maybe that's the way to do it. But wouldn't the programmer of the AI have to be non-biased? I don't know. Mike says, I'm not AI. Just got off work, heading home to go work again. Tate is a hard-working young man, let me tell you. Hard-working young man. He is indeed. But it's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing all right, my friend. Uh-oh. Oh, neighbor's getting a delivery. Well, Sanders, did you hear the news about Charlie Kirk? I'm sure you probably did today. And there's a shooting in Colorado at a school. But used to program and database. I can almost do anything with AI, but used to program. Well, why don't you? Why don't you use AI to make you look better? Oh, Mike, I got you there, didn't I? So I know now to promptly correct. Uh-oh. I think it's the YouTube police coming to get me. Again, I have ideas on ways to make one of those news. You should. I think it's great. Yeah, you're on your break time driving home, right? No. No, come on, man. But, I probably got a delivery coming myself. We got some vitamins coming in the mail. So, because one thing I've discovered, I feel, is there's not an unbiased source anywhere. YouTube is biased, but it's a business, and I get it. That's my point. All of these agencies, news businesses, they're all a business. They're all about making money. They're not about telling the facts. They're about making money. No, are you wearing the Skechers slip-on? Let me, yes and no. I'll show you what I'm wearing. I am wearing Skechers because I love Skechers, and Skechers are the only shoes for me. Skechers, if you need a spokesperson, there's a fat old guy. Come on, Skechers. So now I'm not wearing my slip-ons because I'm in the house, hanging out in my backyard, but I'm wearing my Skechers slippers. Can you see them? These are my 6-year-old slippers that I've worn all over the world and every day in my life. They're an arch fit pair of slippers. See how gross they are? So there you go. You get to see my dirty shoe. So I'm not wearing the slip-ins, but I'm wearing my slippers, my arch fit slippers. They are amazing shoes. I just need them to endorse me, give me money. I see how or what I can do. All right. I swear my domain name, people want the truth.org, can be possibly do well, good things together. Okay, we can do it. Think about unbiased news source or information source. Sanders, that's what I was wearing all the time until I met my wife, and now she buys all my shoes. Oh, I did get a delivery. I got a delivery. No opinions? Well, okay, I'm with you, man. But that's the hard thing is, it's like, where can you? It's like today with Charlie Kirk. I just want to know: is he dead or alive? What time did he die? Did they find the shooter? You know, I didn't need a whole big storyline about his conservatives believes or this or that. I just needed to know, was he dead? Who shot him? Where he was shot at? What was happening to them? That it. I didn't need opinions about him or about the Mormons that they were talking about or about the campus and the security and the police. I just needed some details. He died at 12:10 p.m. All right, so that's out now. Oh, you like my slippers, my sandals or slippers, whatever you call them? We can't do opinions if we only share facts. I agree, it's science. You got to take a news source and turn it into a science question, right? You know, Gus Sanders says, hello, cousin Tate. How are you? Good to see you, brother. Mike Convenance, let others do opinions. Just the facts or the truth. Just the facts, ma'am, if you please. Did he say please? You guys remember? I know some of you guys are really old. You guys know what that means? Just the facts, ma'am. You guys remember that? Does anybody know? Where did that go? They say he was alive until he got to the hospital, but don't believe that. The shot was really bad, really, really bad. Okay. So he probably died on scene or on the way, right? I know one girl I saw an interview of was a blonde girl. It seemed like she was dumb as rocks. We'll talk about that. She saw the shot and she saw that it hit him and blood just went everywhere. Why does Democritus' earth always settle at the bottom? A bottom of what? Bottom of what? Bottom of what? Because you can use it for a filter system, right? You know that, right? So, but bottom of what? If it's lighter, then it doesn't settle at the bottom of oil. Now does it? Huh. Hey, Gus in the house. Is the artery and yeah. Oh, no, I'm talking about the news source, Mike. You got to turn everything into a science question. What's the result? The result. Sanders is saying, hey, Sanders, what's going on, man? What's going on in your great state of Georgia? I'm in the great state of Texas, by the way. What is it then? What is what then? I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You're confused again. Oh, my gosh, you're always confusing. You're like the news source. We're all confused. You know, I can't wait to hear Whoopi Goldberg talk about how he deserved to die tomorrow morning. You know, it's like, well, teach that bastard, won't it? You know, it's like the crazy Phillies Karen chick. You know, how she came out and defended the Karen chick. You know, the Karen chick didn't do anything. The Phillies Karen chick, which is all over the world now, which is kind of funny. No, she didn't do anything wrong. I know, Mike. And I think, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't know why Whoopi Goldberg still is on TV. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think, for me, this really bugs me that somebody exercising his First Amendment right, which is what we're doing, even though we're doing it on a business platform, and this business platform can strike us dead, take us off, right? They can do it because it's their business platform. But being at a state university, being invited at a state university to speak in the public should have never happened. Well, yeah, I don't think she's the one. I think Ellen and some of those other crazy women, Rosie, all said they were going to leave the country and we all applauded. I don't think Whoopi said she was going to leave. I think Whoopi said, I'm going to stay here and make your lives all live in hell. You know, but I don't know why she's on TV. I really don't. I don't get it either. I wish she would leave the country. You know, how can anybody take her seriously as a news personality? I don't get it. I remember the episode they did a while back with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Did you guys ever see that episode with Arnold Schwarzenegger? You can see it out on social media. So they're interviewing Arnold, And they want Arnold to say that President Trump and the immigration policy is horrible. And as an immigrant, Arnold Schwarzenegger being the immigrant, he must feel horrible to see this happening to immigrants. And he's like, no, I don't. And here's why. I think it's a great thing because America's the greatest country in the world. I came here with nothing. I worked myself up into acting, made money, became a governor. Only in America can you do this, but you got to do it right and you got to do it legal. They didn't like his answer. Dennis is actually 10. I forgot what we were talking about, Dennis. You know me. I get on a rant and I forget what the conversation on the left was because I was going to the right. And then I go down the middle road and forget what we're doing on the right and the left. Yeah, they didn't like his answer, but he wouldn't let them stop him, and he explained, read above. All right. Well, now I got to stop and read, Dennis. I don't know. I haven't got time to go back. Yeah, they want to. I saw a thing today that, and I don't remember these people, who these people were. I don't, and I didn't know them on TV, on social media. And some lady is asking a conservative person that if they felt like the Democratic government rule was so bad, right? Why didn't the conservative people riot in the streets and raise hell when the Democrats were in office? And the person said, well, you know, because we respect people, we respect whatever government is in power, and we don't need to riot, we just vote. And I thought, you know, that tells you a lot because you have one group of people saying, well, if you don't like something, you should go to the streets and riot. And you have another group of people saying, well, why don't we just think about it, keep working on doing the right thing, and then we will vote again. So I think that's part of the weird mentality that we got going on here in the United States right now. Whether you like the Democrats or not, whether you're Republican or not, doesn't matter. My point is, it's like when you think it's totally normal to go riot because you disagree with something. That's what I don't understand. You think it's totally normal to commit violence because you disagree. That's what I don't understand. Where have we gone wrong in the concept that people can't have their opinion? They can't have free speech. If you do, you got to risk being shot and killed. So now what's going to happen, right? So are we going to go down this ugly rabbit hole right now where now you have a bunch of gun-loving conservatives, which a lot of conservatives are gun-loving? Are you going to have them start going, all right, we get it. Crazy Democrats or people that hate, free speech or hate conservatives, you want to shoot us, so we're going to start shooting you. Are we going to go down this new road of violence where conservatives is, all right, we get it. We understand the playbook now. So we're going to riot and destroy you. We're going to come and assassinate your speakers in public and see what happens. Is that the avenue that we're going down? I hope it's not, because I think it would be belittling to those people to stoop to somebody else's level. One thing I was always taught as a young person was try not to stoop to somebody else's level. Now, it's really hard to do, but you got to remember, you can only get in the mud. You can only be muddy if you get in the mud, right? And that's what we have to be careful about, and we have to rise above. We have to not allow ourselves to be dragged in the mud. Same thing with being bullied. You can't be bullied unless you allow yourself to be bullied. Well, you can't be dragged in the mud unless you allow yourself to be dragged in the mud. But I got a feeling there are enough people that are a little unhinged on both sides of the coin that are simply going to go, all right, you shot him. Why don't we shoot this person? Why don't we do this? Why don't we burn down this? You know, oh, you have a pride flag manufacturing company. Well, we're going to burn down that company. Why is it that way? They've been killing leaders for a long time. I agree. Yeah, all the way from Abe Lincoln to JFK, RFK, MLK, everybody. I agree. I agree. And it's been going on for, that's what I said earlier, Ronald. It's true. This is going on since the dawn of times. One fashion killing the other fashion. And it's never going to change. That's what I was telling that lady at McDonald's about her 15. Oh, I'm so worried about the world that we're leaving for. No, the world you're leaving for your son is the same world that our grandparents left for us. It's not a big deal. They're going to adapt to it. He does. The professor is very, very elegant speaker. He's a man of many words. Good words. Ozzy's in the house. Ozzy, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? What's been going on in your part of the world? So I hope we don't go down that's right. That's my point, right? You just keep asking. I mean, over and over and over and over and over. I don't and never will understand why people can't get along, even if we see things differently. Well, you know, I agree. Now, look, Mike, I'm going to say this. If you see things differently and you're not adult enough to get along, then you don't need to be around one another, right? It's like the professor. Ron and I don't agree on everything by any stretch, but we get along. We respect each other's opinion. Now, when Dennis comes in, nobody respects Dennis's opinion, but he's Canadian, so it's okay, right? So you can get along and go along and allow other people to express their ideals. Sometimes people get a bug up their butt or they get something stuck in their head, right? And they can't get it out. You can't, you know, and Mike, I don't know if you noticed the other night on your live stream, the reason I came up, and I'm sorry I had to ditch out. Lorelai called me and we were trying to figure out something, so I had to leave your live stream early. But the reason I came up on your live stream, because I saw where it was going and it was stupid. You know, I know Bruce was having his moment, and I thought if I came up and gave some levity to your live stream, distracted and got going in a different direction, then everybody would get along and go along, right? That's part of why I came up the other night. So, because you can have different opinion, you can be, but you got to be adult enough, right? And look, and here's one thing I'm going to say, because here's what's going to happen. We're going to find out the next few days. They're going to say, well, the guy has mental health issues that shot Charlie Kirk. Of course he has mental health issues. Hello? If you can sit there and kill an innocent person, hello, you have mental health issues. You're a psycho. You have problems, right? Oh, I know, Mike, but I just thought I'd come up and change the direction. So I hope you didn't mind, but I came up to try to change the direction. Because Bruce is a good guy, without question. He just kind of gets on a tangent sometimes. But of course, they're going to come out and say he has mental health issues. Well, no shit, people. Hello? It doesn't even take me to figure that one out, right? But I don't want it to be an excuse. I think we're using mental health, because I have mental health issues. Trust me, I'm a nut job big as anybody else, right? So, but I don't think we should tolerate and use our mental health issues as an excuse anymore. It's almost kind of like everybody has ADHD, you know, attention deficit, whatever that is. Nobody can pay attention anymore. You got to give them Ritalin or whatever it is. No, make them pay attention. Calm them down in the world. Get rid of all the damn sugar and the chemicals. So there's so many things that we're doing now to allow this behavior. And this is what continues this. Hey, I have mental health issues, so if I go shoot them, hell, it's just part of the course, right? It's okay if I go do it because I have mental health issues. Hey, nobody will think anything bad of me. Like, oh, he just has mental health issues. They shot him on campus. They did up in Utah. They did. In front of about 4,000 mixed group, students and non-students. And you're going to have a lot of armchair quarterbacking going, well, it should have been a closed event, should not have been any outsiders, should have been indoors, should have been. So you're going to have all kinds of, the campus didn't do this, the campus should have done that. The campus, as somebody who worked on a campus most of my adult life, that campus will never be the same. They will implement new policies and procedures and requirements, and it will never, ever, ever be the same. Cameras, you need more cameras? Professor says, ideologies, theologies, and egos have more to do with my way of life or the highway. My way or the highway. It does. More to do with my way or the highway. It is. And metal detectors should be on college campuses anyway. You're right. And if you don't like my way, and if you give me any resistance, and you don't want to go down the highway, well, I'll just have my assassins find you in a dark alley and take you out. It's what they'll do. Well, what they'll do is they'll have a bunch of new policies and procedures for guest speakers, is what they'll have. They'll probably not have any outdoor guest speakers ever again. Everybody will have to be indoors. It will be tightly reined. But I can promise you for the next year or so, there will not be any public speakers on that campus. I can tell you that. Being somebody who's been around a college campus all my life, I know how they react. They're like a turtle. If you go up to a turtle and you thump it, what does it do? It closes in and hides. That campus is going to do the exact same damn thing. Good or bad, that's what the campus is going to do. Well, he already did. He sent a message of condolences out. I think he's probably personally hurt because I guess they're friends, and J.D. Vance is friends with them. But I don't believe he will respond as the president to do anything. I don't know what he can do. If it's truly a lone shooter, what can he do? The president can't do anything about this. It's a state crime, it's a federal crime, right? The president can't really do anything about it, so I don't think he will. And Apache Eagle, I don't think he will because I don't know what he could do about it. He can't. He's not going to ban guns because that goes against his ideology. He can't force state schools to do a certain thing because that's up to each state, how they manage their state schools, just the way it is, So I don't think he can do anything. Honestly, about Bruce, he messaged me after the fact, and I know he did. Bruce is a really good guy. I could just tell he was wound up, and so I thought I'd just come up and try to laugh, have a good time, and maybe distract everybody. Because I know where he was going and what he wanted to do, and he's a good guy, and I know what he meant. He just couldn't get his message across, and he wanted to keep getting louder, and he's like, somebody, and I'm like, it's okay, I agree. I totally agree. Nobody apologizes to me ever. Nobody ever messages me and says, hey, man, I'm really sorry I laughed at your hat. They never do. So, gee, Mike. Apache Eagle says, interesting, right. So, Apache Eagle, what do you think he could do? Hypothetically, what could President Trump do besides say, condolences? I'm sorry for, what are you sorry for? Can you articulate it? Now, in my world, nobody has anything to be sorry for. Nobody, I don't hold that. I just don't. I've learned over the years not to hang on to things, right? So, and that's why I don't mind dealing with trolls, Mike, because I don't hang on to things. I just don't. I don't care. You know, and we've said this 5 million times. Unless you're paying my bills and sleeping in my bed, I don't really give a rat's butt. Just having fun is always my friend. Oh, I know, I know. Universities and colleges have their own police departments. Okay, so how this works at colleges and universities, a lot of times they have a security or a public safety department. Sometimes that means that the security are not licensed officers in those states. For instance, my college for years had a public safety department, but they were not certified licensed officers. We switched and turned it into its own police force of like 8 guys. So that's what happens there. But most bigger schools definitely has their own internal police force, and they only have jurisdiction over their campus. So they can't go to another campus. So like the University of Utah couldn't go to, Arizona and have any authority. They just couldn't do it. Most do, but a lot of them don't. They have what they call public safety divisions, and they don't have arrest power, and they don't carry guns. So there are a lot of universities that don't do that. A lot of universities do a hybrid, meaning they'll have a small police department with licensed, certified, armed, and they have a large public safety division that hands out tickets, handles crowds, and helps keep order and helps people find their way. But they're not certified and licensed. Because what they find is that reduces when you, on a college campus with all the young people, when you take away the intimidation factor, you get better results. Yeah, Apache, you might be right. It might be come the day that they're going to have to start putting bulletproof glass around everything, which is just crazy. Maybe that's a new business we need to start. Maybe we need to start personal bulletproof glass cages that we can sell to people. So you can go on eBay or Amazon and buy my new, bulletproof cage that when you go speak in public, you you can take it with you. It can unfold and protect you. Maybe that's a brand new business to have. So, but yeah, it would be very hard and difficult and expensive to be able to do that. But that's why they will put everything inside. Now, the ship, there may be a bigger ship where people are moved inside. Now, what you will see, what I do predict, this weekend, for all the college football games, there's going to be more security at the college football games than ever before. Maybe not ever before, but over the weekend, the security is going to be enhanced at college campuses all over the country. That will settle down and go back to normal, but I promise you, this weekend will be a lot of security if you're on a college campus or at a football game. But that will trickle back down to being normal, is what it will. But for this weekend, it's going to. You got to go to the CR, be right back. Well, there'll be a lot of undercovers. And I don't know, to be honest, if undercover police officers work. Because I think even Utah said they had like 4 of them in plain clothes. I don't think that works. I have a different ideology about that. I think you ought to do more like what the countries like the Philippines do, Israel, other places. I think you ought to have people wearing nice-looking uniforms, clean, nice-looking uniforms that tells you who they are and what they are. Not military, but nice-looking uniforms, and you have a lot of them. I think that does better to exhibit versus people sneaking around, because I don't think it does any good. I think what you have to do is deterrent. The undercovers, all they can really do is watch around and hope, but they're kind of more after the fact, right? If you want to establish first responders team, all right, I get that. But I personally believe it would be better to have Everybody, and the other thing I'll say this about police uniforms and things. I think America does it wrong. I think America should do maybe like the Philippines. The Philippines, not their police, but their security wears a hat, a very nice white shirt, and pants. So you can quickly identify them who they are. I don't think but our police in America want to wear dark blues and browns. I think it's the wrong way to go. I think they ought to be more visible. I think they ought to wear white shirts, look nicer than what they do. They shouldn't be all casually dressed. They shouldn't look like they just got off of the military bus. They shouldn't be dressed in camo. There shouldn't be any of that shit. They should look like professional police officers, not like scary people with guns, but smiling, helpful people. Charlie Kirk is the American martyr. I agree. So far, he is. It's a sad day for him and his family. Because I think visibility is a good deterrent, is what it is. Someone there to help them to think about things a little bit. But it's also about professionalism. I don't respect, well, I have a problem with policing in America in general anyway. I think it's way too militarized. I think there's way too many, I think American policing, they police by bullying. American police do policing by the act of bullying people. And I think it's the wrong way to go. I'm one of these people, even though I'm not a nice guy, I think you do better with positive versus negative. Bullying is a negative act. You're going to get negative results. If they put a positive equals positive, I'm really big on this. So I think American law enforcement are screwed. They got too big of an ego. They think they're Johnny Badass, and they're not. They're only Johnny Badass because they got guns and buddies with guns, but they're not. So I think they need to take a step back, take a deep breath, relax, and realize they're here to protect and serve, not enforce. A little bit more like Andy Taylor, I would agree. Andy wore brown though. I would wear a white shirt, but I do. But policing 101 is they teach you how to bully other people, how to lie, how to get your way, how to force, how to trick, how to manipulate. If you can't be honest, and that's one thing reform for me and policing in America would be the fact police officers should not be able to lie to you. Shouldn't be able to lie to you. Yep, they give him a gun, think he's Rambo. He gets, and as a teacher, I don't understand why they're making because I got friends that are police officers, so I know what they go through, what they've gone through. Why are they trying to make the police officers like military? They shouldn't do that. They should make them to protect and to serve. And they need to teach customer service is what they need to teach, not force. Customer service. Mike says, what does Mike say here? I think the people in NSA, CIA, etc. are much more intimidating because they dress normal, but they talk in a completely different way. That's correct. I agree. Trust me, it's different from the policing. I had my entire family scared shirtless when NSA came to my house to interview me. I'm with you. They were thinking you did do something wrong. That's why you're living in the Philippines. Did you hear about the new government agency, the Trump Supreme Court? Chief Justice Roberts is trying his best to give Trump king powers. No, but if he's the king, and if I suck up to him, can I get anything out of it? No. On Monday, the Supreme Court turned a blind eye to the presidential Donald Trump unlawful termination of a Democratic member of the Federal Trade Commission. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. But Ronald, to play devil's advocate, if I'm Democratic and I get elected the president, I won. So the spoils of victory should go to me, which means I should be able to fire any damn Republican I want and put Democrats in there. I should be allowed to put like-minded people because I won the war, I won the battle, I won the presidency. If I invaded, Canada, which wouldn't be very hard, then I should be able to put people that I like in to manage Canada, right? Not what the people of Canada want. So, you know what I mean? To play devil's advocate, maybe that's the other side of that coin. I know nothing, but I am away. See, yeah, you're hiding in the Philippines. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking for, hey, Ronald, I'm still looking for that $5 million donation from somebody. I'm still e-begging for $5 million, buddy. So if I got to suck up to Trump to get $5 million, hey, I'll suck up to him. The oath to the Constitution, that's correct. I think that's the thing that we don't do, Ronald. I don't think, and this kind of goes back to the news cycle, Ronald, is I don't think anybody follows their oath to the Constitution. I think they follow their interpretation of what they believe the Constitution would mean to them. It's kind of like religion. Religion is here, but everybody has their own little, no, I think religion's more, no. Religion allows me to go out and sleep with prostitutes as long as I say, hey, ask forgiveness. It's okay if I go sleep with prostitutes. You know what I mean? So I think the Constitution's the same way. Everybody kind of has their own interpretation of the Constitution. On a life, I just a clueless person on a life thing. There you go, Mike. How did I get here? That's a good question. That's a good question. How did any of us get here? That's the real question. How did I get here? How did I get here to have to e-beg for $5 million? I've been thinking about setting up a GoFundMe account, and e-begging on the GoFundMe account for the $5 million. But, yeah, too much work. Instead of I buy here. Yeah. No. Yeah. Ronald, 1,000%. I think all politicians are dirty, scummy, lying suckbags. I think all of them are dishonest. There might be a few who get in it when they're honest people, but shortly thereafter they're corrupt. I don't think any, and because I think how it's set up is there's no checks and balances, and nobody's going to enforce it because that means they all get checked and balances. So it's kind of like the good old boy system. It's just not going to happen. They're all corrupt. And I'll join your lawsuit, Ronald. Maybe I can get my $5 million out of the way, Ronald. You see the videos taken about why they don't teach cursive anymore? So young kids can't read the original. Oh, I don't doubt that. Did you guys, when Duterte was in office, the crime rate dropped by 35%? Yeah, because everybody was scared to get executed. So Jimmy, you're right. But everybody was so scared to be executed. I know that name Duterte, you do. Also Marcos, yes. Bellamont, my son, just told me that they don't have the shooter, another one not charged. Okay, that's what I heard before I came online, that they didn't have the shooter. That they did not have the shooter today. Had to be more telling me things. There you go. I don't want to get into the Philippines. No. In the Philippines, you know nothing. It's like playing tennis on a clay court. At some point, you clean the white tennis shoes. Will get muddy. I agree, Ronald, and I think that's a great analogy. You're just a visitor. You like it, so I have no point of view about the Philippines. And look, I don't think politics matter in the Philippines either. Look, It's all about money. It's just as corrupt as America. It's just done on a different scale. I truly know nothing. It's the best way to be in the Philippines. Well, they do. They do deter, right? They do deter. But they deter, but the question is this, and this is more just, do they deter hard crime or average everyday crime? I think it's kind of like baby steps in a way. So let me see if I can explain what I think about crime and law enforcement. I think if you can nip the little, it's like drugs, all right? Let's talk about drugs. It's kind of like, the gateway drugs. So little crimes are gateway crime to bigger crime. So if you can prevent the gateway crimes from happening, then the big crimes won't happen as much, right? Because your little drug user doesn't become to be a big drug user. Your little criminal who breaks simple laws won't become the big criminal. That's kind of how I think about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Mike says, but I do hang outside sometimes and I hear other people talk, but I don't say anything. I pretend I hear nothing. I hear nothing. Don't interject. Drugs are bad. But you know what I mean, right? It's kind of a gateway thing, maybe. Maybe crime is like that. Now, because you are going to have the full-blown drug addicts right off the bat. You're going to have the full-blown serial killers and bank robbers. I mean, people that are just brain is messed up to go to crime. But you're also going to have the people go, man, that was easy, man. I stole that. I stole that hat. I stole that hat from Dillard's. Man, I'm going to go to Walmart and steal me a TV. And then I'm going to go to my neighbor's house and steal their Corvette. And then I'm going to go to the neighbor's house and take their dog because I like their dog better than my dog, Well, there's Galactic Gaming, man. Is weed a drug? It's only 100% natural. I agree, it's the only 100% natural, but it is a drug. I think everything can be a drug because anything can be a chemical. What is a drug? What's the definition of a drug? Jimmy, we may be too far gone, but I still think it starts at the nucleus. I agree. No, you're going there. A mother at home passing on the culture. I agree. Children only know what they're taught. If you teach them to be good people, they'll be good people. If you teach them to be thieves, like we've seen on the internet a lot, well, that's what they're going to be. There is nothing new under the sun, my brother. That's right, man. I consider the drug to be man-made. All right, but what is Galactic, I get that. So you're talking about synthetics. But peyote is a drug. I mean, what is I disagree with your definition of a drug. Now, maybe there's a different term for that. I don't know. But what is the definition of a drug? They have something here in which I think maybe meth. It is Shabu. Ronald, is it Shabu? But they call it something different and not sure how to spell it, but it sounds like Shabu. Yeah, Shabu. Or Shabu or something like that. Tim's in the house. Tim knows what it is. Tim, good evening. Hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Tim. How do you, Dave, man? How do I do what, man? How do I do what? Hey, Tim, good to see you. Ronald, good morning. How are you doing, man? I'm doing good. I'm all right. My back's hurting. I got a bunch of medical appointments coming up. All kinds of things wrong with me. But, if I take more drugs, I'll be all right. I'm going to go get some more drugs, I guess. What is that? If cyclobine helps veterans of PTSD. I have it myself, not a veteran. I have it from a different issue. But I think PTSD, I think they changed it, right? Is it PTS something else, right? It's not D anymore. It's PTS something else. PTSS, maybe? Post-traumatic stress syndrome. I think they're calling it PTSS anymore. The world drug is man-made world. Yes, sir. LSD, there you go, man. Ron, all the world, kids in the house. Kid, how are you, man? I was thinking about you the other day. Ron, all the worlds are man-made. Yes, all the worlds. Every world we have is man-made, man. So if the world is man-made, everything on that world has to be man-made. Good point, kid. Hello, fillers. Oh, I finally set up membership on my YT. Good. But any advice? Yeah, I'm getting ready to change that membership on mine. Do you have any advice on what to do after that? I can't offer anything. Yes, just so everybody knows, I'm getting ready to put a new membership level on mine. It is going to be $5 million, and you get to have all the naked pictures of me you want if you subscribe to my membership for $5 million. I thought I'd try it. Hey, kid, I want a Burger King. Ugh, slimy. Maybe we'll do a live for it and see what happens, I guess. That's right. We have BK here. Yeah, BK. In the Philippines, kind of weird. We've had it. Very difficult for me to find drugs that help my pain. Yeah, I don't get any drugs that help my pain. I have a nerve that's firing, a lumbar nerve that's driving me crazy. And I don't, I've had so many of those steroid injections over the years for many, many different things. But I think I gave up today and decided I'm going to go do another one. No thanks. I had Wendy's yesterday. Don't tell your wife. Don't tell Venus you had Wendy. Boy, let me tell you, you're going to get in trouble if she sees that. So, man. Do you have Jollibee where you're at? We don't have. Well, no, we have one 5 hours away in Texas. In Dallas, Texas is the closest. You guys have one in Orlando. It's probably the closest to you. I don't even know if you have a seafood city where you're at in Georgia. Hang on, let me get caught up here. Tim says Burger King is good. I really go there. I used to take pain pills for my back. Same here until I got out of the coma. Venus had Wendy. Oh my God, man, what kind of marriage do you guys have? Galactic Gaming in the house, donating $1.99. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. You don't have to do that. I appreciate it though. Thank you, kind sir. He just got back from the great country America. He went to the greatest country in the whole entire world the other day, here in America. He came to Las Vegas. Oh my, yes. I got my pills to ease my pain versus the good time Charlie got the blues. No, Seafood City. Oh, that sucks. Seafood. I would love to have a Seafood City. Seafood City down where Sanders is in Texas. That's the key. We are not married. Oh, I'm going to tell her you said that. Oh, shit, MJ, you're going to be in the doghouse now. The beach house is coming. I need it, man. I need it. Hey, I came up with a new thing about the beach house, about the $5 million. So here's the deal. Whoever gives me the $5 million, and understand how this is going to work, 2.5 million-ish goes to the house. The other half goes into investments to pay for all the carrying costs, taxes, and insurance on the house. So now, here's the new caveat to this, and this is why you should give me $5 million. Because in 40 years, when Lorelai and I are both dead, whoever gives me the $5 million to buy the house will now re-inherit the house, and it will probably be worth 10 or 15 million in 40 years. So that means you just made a gigantic investment on $5 million. You tripled, quadrupled, you doubled your money. Man, all you got to do is give me the $5 million. In 40 years, the house will be yours again, be worth 40 million, and look how much money you just made. Just saying, man. Trust me, it works. Oh no. Good on you. Yes, Professor. It worked. No, 5 a.m., 5 million. Yeah, no, 5 million. 5 million is what we need, man. I know, but you know, at least it's closer. I would rent maybe for a while. No, man, give me the 5 million and I'll buy the damn house. I already know what I need to buy. That's pretty damn good. You like that, right? Pretty damn good investment opportunity. No BS. We will put it in legal inheritance that whoever gives us money, because Lorelai and I have no children. We don't need the property after we're dead. You can have it all back and everything that's in it, including my boat. I'm dead. I don't care. I'd rather invest in S&P 5. No, you won't. You'd rather give it to me. Tina Marie's in the house. How are you? Good to see ya. I'd rather invest in gold and silver. No, you wouldn't. You'd rather invest in me and you know her. Silver is up 45%. Wow, that's pretty good. Tim says I would have to pay a lot of capital gains. You would. But don't let that, deter you. Hello to M in Venus, Mike in Venus. Steel and plumber. Woo, Professor says. There you go. Steel and plumber. Can't pitch that to the bank. I know, right? I know, damn banks. But I thought it'd be a good idea. No, not 5 million pesos, American dollars. Collector says, no CGT or Britannia. Real American money. What do if I donate 5 million? I can get a tax break. Yes. If you donate $5 million, when Lorelei and I are dead in about 30 or 40 years, your family, yourself, whoever you dictate, will re-inherit the property. So we paid $2.5 million for it, right? And in 30 years, the property is going to be worth probably $25 million. So look at all those millions you're going to make by giving me a lousy $5 million. Just telling you, it's a good deal for somebody. Person of interest in custody at the shooting, good, of Charlie Cook. Nice. That's good. Dollars, American dollars, or gold bars, one of the two. Bar scooters, though. I still wonder why I am here. We all wonder that, man. Professor says, hello, Maria. Good to see you. How are you tonight? I'm doing good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could build anything here for 5 million USD. Well, sure you could, but I don't live there. I live here. Why would, we have property in the Philippines, but I don't want to put a $5 million house in the Philippines. So it's an investment. It's an investment. That's correct. I promise you. It's an investment. Hello, Professor. Yeah, Charlie Kirk video is horrible. I haven't seen the video yet. The actual video. Poor guy, I know, man. It sucks. It sucks for so many different reasons. It's an attack on First Amendment. And I'm a big fan of First Amendment. I know I'm on a business platform, YouTube, but I'm a big First Amendment fan and believe people should be allowed to speak as they want to speak. Who is Charlie Kirk? He is a social media superstar who's a conservative. He is a great debater. He would go around to college campuses and other places and let people just challenge and ask questions. And he would talk to them and answer the questions and debate. So, young man, 31 years old with a wife and 2 kids. Republican, obviously, conservative. Very interesting orator. Very interesting to listen to him. I will when I'll watch it if I can find it later. Then just rent me land with long-term lease so I can build and retire until we are both dead. Well, that's the other thing you can do in the Philippines. In the Philippines, you can do that. So you can lease the land for 100 years or until you're dead. And then the structure that you build on there converts back to the owner of the land. So that's actually pretty common in the Philippines. A lot of expats think they're buying land in the Philippines, and they go and build a house, but they're not buying the land because they can't own land. And 2, that landowner wants it back, they don't have any right to the building. We just sold our house. We doubled our investment in 12 years. Nice. Real estate is crazy in Canada. Yes. Same here. Where we live in this part of the country, it's crazy. GP dad, very smart young man. Charlie Kirk was. I want to say Kirk like in Captain Kirk. So I keep, yes, he was a very smart young man. Hopefully you don't mean me. You cannot own, unless you're married to a Philippine citizen, then you have survivor rights as a husband. Nice, yes. Yeah, we should make a good profit off of this if I can convince my wife to sell next year. Because right now we're stuck in traffic and we can't go anywhere. So we're still stuck in traffic. Thank you all for the thumbs up if you haven't done that. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, by the way. Subscribe to the channel. And subscribe to each other's channels while we're here. We've got to make sure we subscribe to each other. Yeah, now Venus can own land, and you can live there until you're dead, unless she kicks your ass out, which has happened. There's been several cases of foreigners hooking up with the woman. They're not married because she can't be married because she's already married. He builds her a nice house. They build a nice house together. She kicks his happy ass out. He's down the road because legally it's hers, not his. He has no rights to it because they're not married. I doubt I'll live until 80 or 90. Well, I don't think I will, but Lorelai will. My family mostly lives that long, but I smoke and drink, I know. You're on a self-destructive path, buddy. But it will be in her name. Of course, it has to be in her name. Yep, now moved into my in-laws' farmhouse. Ooh, it was given to us. We are mortgage-free. That's the way to be. Man, that's my dream, to be mortgage. That's why I'm e-begging for $5 million, so I can be mortgage-free. Come on. And look, let me throw this out there, everybody. I want you to understand. I'm only asking for this for my wife. I want my wife to have the house of her dreams. I promise you. I will not enjoy the swimming pool. I won't enjoy the waterfront. I won't enjoy the boat. I won't enjoy the gourmet kitchen. I won't enjoy the movie theater or the landscaping or anything like that. I won't enjoy a bit of that. It's all for my wife. Just wanted to make sure you knew that. Dear Marie, we have a house that is paid for here, but it's small. Hey, as long as it's paid for. One of the most hi, Lily. One of the most powerful things. Oh, let me get my big dog Lily up here. Where's my big dog Lily? What? I know. One of the most powerful financial things you can do is be financially out of debt. I tell people all the time, if you don't have any debt, you are financially powerful. Ain't that right, Lily? Yeah? Everybody say hello to Lily. Lily's our one with the bad foot. The other one passed away. I know. So that's what you have to do. Oh, quit. Yeah, we won't enjoy it. I won't enjoy it. My wife will enjoy it. It's for her, not me to enjoy it. And my dog. See, it'd have a fenced-in yard for my dog. But I promise you, whoever gives me the $5 million, I won't enjoy it. Yep, you got to get rid of everything in the U.S.? Yes. I do hope, and I'm sure he did because he made a lot of money on the internet. I'm sure Charlie Kirk, I don't know why I want to say Cook so much. But I'm sure I hope, but I got a feeling, since he's a smart guy, that he's probably set his wife and young children up, which I hope he has. I don't like it when, situations like this put people in a bad spot. Scott's in the house. Good to see you all the way from the big Philippines. Bellamont, counting or not counting gang violence were his last words. Yes, I know, right? Everybody said hello to Scott. Scott, how are you, my friend? Everybody subscribe to Scott's channel. MJ, hubby's family is very generous. Nice. We moved from a 5-bedroom house, 4-bath, 3-car garage. Ooh, big fancy house. To a tiny 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. No garage. It's worth it if we don't have. I agree with that. Man, I agree with that. I keep trying to convince my wife, being debt free is the way to go. Humble but nice. Efficient but nice. Yeah, I think the last question he was taking was about gun violence, right? Was talking about transgender shooters. So what I hope, for the sake of the world, that the person who shot him isn't a transgender person. I know that sounds bad, but I think that would make everything worse than it already is. Quality over quantity. I want both. Having Venus. Well, you had Wendy's earlier. I don't know why you can say that, man. You said you had Wendy's earlier. Well, we're never done with any conversation on this channel. No violence. Yes, Mike. Simple. Living is better. We believe in spending money for life experiences, not being house poor. I agree with you on that. I tell people, and people don't listen, of course, but it's better to enjoy your life and to live simpler so that you can experience all the things the world can bring you. Because the world is an amazing place. There are so many people to meet and things to do, experience to have. I mean, we've been blessed enough to travel quite a bit, nowhere near as much as we want, especially the last couple of years. But man, if we won the lottery, Jesus, we would be at your house tomorrow, Maria. There we would. We'd come visit you. I mean, we love to travel. We just got to do it smartly. That's why yeah. And Ronald, there is something to absolutely say about being a renter. Because that means you can pack your bags and go and do what you want to do. You're not tied down to a financial structure. So I totally agree. There are perks to being lifelong renters. Me personally, I don't do so well as a renter because I don't know. I have a weird thing about control, I guess. You can stay in the barn? Nice. MJ says renting is good, very good. Hard to explain, but yes, it is good. If you got traveling feet, and my wife says I have traveling feet. She says I have itchy feet because I want to move. 25%. The banks say 33% max. I say 25% or less. Tim is asking what, and all of you should answer this. What percentage of your income should be spent on housing? I say 25 or less if you can't go to zero. The banks say 33%. I've been all over the 48 states and so I haven't seen everything. Yeah, I know. It's great, right? Or the world. We've been to Aruba and the Bahamas and Curacao. I mean, there's so many places. We're building a 3-car garage right now. Well, we could stay in the garage. It's bigger than our house. I know what you mean, man. Starting to rain in the Philippines. Oh my, yes, yes. 30%, Ronald says. Yep, the bank says 33%. When you go to finance a house, they say 33% is your max. I say 25 or less. And if you can spend none, it's even better. So if I can come and live in Maria's 3-car garage, Mike only lives on dividends. So I think that's the key. Housing is your biggest expense besides children there is. The other key to being financially secure is not to have children. I mean, what? What? I can imagine how poor Lorelai and I would be, how much poorer Lorelai and I would be if we had children. Those change it all? Yes. 20 to 30 for housing. Now we pay up to 60% on more. I know, man, it's crazy, right? Live in a garage, start a rock band. Woohoo! There you go, Scott. I don't like bills. Nobody likes bills. But raising children are expensive. Unless you can put them to work in a sweatshop, it's really expensive to raise kids, man. And they don't, and the government in America at least don't like you to put them in sweatshops anymore. And I don't understand that. I mean, it was fine up until the 1920s. And now all of a sudden, you can't make, 3-year-olds work in a sweatshop. I don't know about that. You actually have a nice place for a small house. We do right so far. Yeah, as long as you're happy, Mike, is the key, right? Be happy, enjoy. If you can, I'm really big on trying to reduce my stress. I have enough stress in my life. Don't think we can have children. Yeah, and plus I don't blame it. We're not going to have children. I don't want children. She never wanted children. 53, man, you're only 53, Mike. You look 72. Wow. I mean, Ronald looks younger than you. Dennis looks younger than you. It's 46. My wife's birthday is next spring. She's going to turn 40. So you guys all need to come to America so Lorelai can have she's having a big giant 40-year birthday party, a big production. We're going to rent a thing and blah, blah, blah. Yusuf's in the house. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. No kids, too old. I agree. Yes, Dave, the garage is insulated. There you go. My studio is attached to it. It'll be warm in the winter. We're in. See, we'll just swap. Is it right, man? Who? Yeah, I agree. There you go. Oh, Mike is saying he likes Foo very much. I don't like Foo very much. So I know everybody loves me. You know. Thank you for the compliment. Anytime, man. Anytime. So, Lorelai turns 40 next spring. We're having a big, gigantic birthday party for her, or she's planning it. I'm just sitting back going, holy crap, how much is this going to cost me? Deborah Williams in the house from Jersey City, New Jersey. New Jersey in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up and subscribing. I hope you're doing well tonight. I'm sure you've heard the sad news. We've been talking about that along with a bunch of other things. So she's young. She's 40 years old. Well, she turns 40 next year. About Kirk, he was a victim of his conservative stance. I agree. He was definitely a victim of his own personal beliefs, without question. He was a victim of the fact that he had the balls to stand up and to speak out and to stand up for what his beliefs are, which I don't care what your beliefs are, but if you're going to believe in something, then you need to be man enough, woman enough to stand up and say, this is what I believe in. It's her second debut celebration. There you go. Yeah. I love her thought. She's a great person. Your wife cracks me up. Oh, I know. You got to watch my wife. She's sharp as a tack. I spend less than $200 a month on housing in the Philippines. That's nice. That is good. I thought I heard the CIA coming to get me, or the police, or something out there. The less you can spend on housing is great. But yeah, I get it. My wife's excited. She loves to have parties because she's Filipina. And this is a great reason to throw a great big party. And it's her 40th birthday. So she's going to be driving me crazy for the next 6 months, 7 months. She's already bought a dress. She's looking at venues. She's looking at food. We're going to be talking about this damn birthday party for the next 200 years. So here my bills are almost nothing, but I still pay for rent and car insurance and all that stuff in the Philippines, which is not good, but it's okay. Probably 4 times more than we spend for basics, yes. Maria says, I had my debut in a hotel reception hall. It was like a wedding at 18 years old. Yes, now she didn't have one of those in the Philippines. She didn't have one of those. So and she's had a lot of birthday parties, and we have a lot of parties. But you're right, this is kind of like that. So as much as it's going to cost a fortune, and we don't have a fortune, but I get why she feels like this should be a big deal, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but I get it. And so, I hope she can pull it off her. And I've given her a budget, and I'll probably have to wind up, hopefully she's not listening, don't tell her, but I might have to wind up upping the budget down the road, but right now I'm not doing that. So I want to ask a question. Venus was married before, but there is an annulment. Is the annulment completed? I want to do that and marry her. But they say it's expensive, and yes, it's expensive. Probably cost you 10,000 or better USD. It may take you a long time, but you can try it. But you may be shocked that they don't have to give it to you. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had married, and I know she knows that. But yes, you can get an annulment. It's rare in the Philippines, unless you're part of the Muslim community, and then you can get a divorce. So, but traditionally, it's tough. It's probably 1 in 100 or 1,000. It's not going to be easy. Even if you pay all the money, they can say no. It's like a sweet 16 party, but Filipinos wait until they're 18 of age of marriage. Oh, all right, I get it. Yeah, she never had one of those, I don't think. She comes from a situation where they didn't have that. My math must be wrong. It says I spend 3% of my income on rent. Oh, that sounds all right. Yep, not Muslims. Well, and you're not in the Muslim community, so. But in the Philippines, the Muslims are the only ones that can get a divorce. All right, that's good. But you still got to convince, and you got to spend a lot of money to get them all to agree to it. Yeah, you need to just dive into it if that's what you want to do, Mike, and see if you can pull it off. That's what you need to do. And if it's look, it's like I was telling somebody the other day. If it's meant to be, it will be. If it's necessary, it will be. If I know you want to do it, but how much is it going to change your world? You know what I mean? You can live together forever and be a married couple like common law marriage, even though that's not a thing in the Philippines, but it's a common in America, right? Common law marriage. So you don't have to have a piece of paper to have that bond that ties you together. Talk to the husband. Yeah, the husband's probably okay with it as long as you give him a bunch of money. He said he will do whatever it takes. If that's right, you'll pay for it, and he'll collect a nice check. If you're married, you'll feel better. I understand that. But don't be surprised if the husband says, yeah, I'll do it. As long as you pay for all the paperwork, I'll do it. But as you get going to it, because this is what we've heard from other couples, is as you go down this road, then the husband also all of a sudden says, I think I need, an extra 4,000 or 5,000 USD to sign off on the paperwork. Nope. He gets, don't be surprised at the last minute if the husband comes up and says, give me some more. Yeah, you'll pay for the courts, but you're going to pay for him to do it. I promise you that. It'd be a shocker if he doesn't come back and say, where's my cut now that you paid for all of that? Because that's what happens. We've heard it before. My friends. So, but I'm not trying to discourage you to do it. I think you do what you think is best and what you hope for and kind of roll with it and see what happens. And it will all work out however it's supposed to be. It just will. So. All right, my friends, it's going on 8 o'clock here at night. Mosquitoes are coming in. They're going to suck all the blood out of my poor wiener dog and myself. If he does that, you might get disappointed from the other. Well, I know, but don't be shocked. I'm just telling you. Look, if there's an angle to make a buck, they're going to do it. Just telling you. I gave a loan of 500,000 pesos I have for an annulment 4 years ago. The paperwork's still being processed. I won't see that money being paid. Yeah, you'll never see the money again. Yeah, you'll never see the money coming back. One thing I've learned in general, you never give anybody a loan that you expect to be paid back. You never give anybody money that you expect to be paid back. And that especially goes true for in the Philippines. Don't annulment have to be approved through yes. You got to pay the church. You got to pay the government. You got to pay the church. You got to pay the husband. Correct. And you got to work at it. It's a whole lot more work than you think it is. So, and there's going to be a whole lot more paying you got to do. The preacher man's going to, what do you call it? The priest, the Catholic priest is going to be hitting you up too on a regular basis. He's going to make you come and take sessions with him, to certify that this, or to verify this is really the best thing for you. And each time it's going to cost you money. Stick it where you're at, yeah. Never loan, give, but never loan. That's it. So, all right, everybody. Well, once again, time for me to get off of here. Lily wants her dinner. So, we appreciate everybody. Everybody take care. I heard it takes 1 to 2 years just to get the church. If you can get it done in 1 or 2 years, I think that's a miracle. In America, it takes a couple of years. So I guess depending on how much money you have to give the church, the faster it will move in the Philippines. So even in America, I had a friend who got an annulment in America. Oh, he gave the church over $10,000. You know, the church got $10,000. The local Catholic church right here where we live got $10,000. You know, otherwise it was going to take a really, really, really long time for it to be processed. All right, well, looks like Mike's going to go live shortly, so you guys may want to go over and hang out with Mike. I'm going to get off of here, feed my dog Lily, get inside before the mosquitoes carry me away. And we appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, sharing, donating to my $5 million fund. And if you didn't donate to my $5 million fund, well, pooey on you. So everybody take care, and we'll see you soon. If you need anything, let us know. Take care, everybody. All right, Lily, come on, let's go. No, let me help you.